Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name's Katie and today I'm going to be doing the makeup and books tag. So I'm looking very fresh faced at the moment. So I'm going to be putting my makeup on in today's video. So I've already got my moisturiser on and I got my hair out of the way if you're wondering where my fringe has gone. So yeah, I'm not really an expert at makeup or anything. I like applying it, but I don't wear it that often, maybe like once a week or like whenever I'm filming. Yeah, actually filming's been quite a good excuse recently to be putting it on because there's no real reason to otherwise. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. But yeah, so basically there's some different prompts based on different makeup items. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing it and chatting about some of the books. So first of all is primer. So I don't normally wear primer, but I just have this tiny little pot. It's like one of the free samples from MAC. So it's just a MAC primer basically. Oh yeah, and the moisturiser I use is the Liz Earle one. It's just the standard moisturiser. I'm really bad at applying moisturiser actually. I'm good at cleansing my face in the shower, but then I always forget to put moisturiser on, so oops. And then, oh yeah, and if you see me looking down, I've got a mirror down here and I've also used my phone, but yeah. So the question for primer is pick a book that left a lasting impression. So for that one, I'm gonna choose Diary of a Confused Feminist by Kate Weston. So this one, I'll hold it by, it's kind of hard to do. So yeah, so this one is just a really good book and I think it's something that all teenagers should read. I mean, I'm not a teenager, but I still really enjoyed it because I think it has some really good messages about, well, like feminism and what it means to be a feminist and how there's not really any like prescriptive things that you have to do, because I think sometimes the media or whatever people have like bad impressions of feminists, but I think that's not true and I think it's something everyone should be. And I think there's this list in the back of the book. There's this quote and I'll read it to you. It says, "Feminism isn't about being right or perfect. It's about helping other women, lifting each other up, not competing against each other. It's not about judgment, it's about support." So yeah, so I think that is a great quote. And there's like other things as well, just kind of around that. And this book also has some really good period like positivity. So I think that's a good thing to see talked about in like a YA book because you don't see that a lot. So yeah, that one's good. So so now I've got my primer on. Next is foundation. So I don't really wear a lot of heavy foundation, but I have the Glossier Skin Tint. So this one's quite sheer, but I actually really like it. I think if you used to like proper foundation, you probably wouldn't like this one, but I like it. And the question, I have no clue what I'm doing, by the way. just squirting. So the question for foundation is pick your favourite first book in a series. This is not going well. So for that, I'm gonna choose, I don't think this is a surprise to anyone, but The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I'll show it there. So yeah, this is like my favourite series, and I really like the first book as well. Well, obviously. I really like the first book. I just like how it introduces the world. And well, after I film this video, I'm actually going to do the reacting to 1-star reviews, so prepare myself for that. But yeah, I like how it introduces the world, and it is quite exposition heavy, and I think it's good to know that before you go into it, because I read something that was like, you do get quite a lot, especially in the first half, but it's worth pushing through, and I totally agree with that. I think it just builds like so well, and I think it requires that kind of that amount of setup because it's such a big scope, and because it is the first book in a series as well, you obviously have you need the setup for the rest of the series. But I think it's just such a great introduction to the characters, and I love Kaladin's storyline in The Way of Kings. He has so many like badass moments. So yeah, and that's probably my favourite first book in a series. So then the next prompt is concealer. So I hardly ever wear concealer. I have this one from years ago, So I'll just put a little bit on just for the point of the video. But I've got a few spots on my chin, so I can do them. And that is a character you wish you could get rid of. So for this one, I'm gonna choose Kavoth from Know the Wind. I just really don't like him. Well, yeah. I think it would be a much better story if it wasn't like Kavoth telling it from his perspective. I'll show the book. It's from The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Yeah, I don't like how kind of he's just good at everything. And you never really feel any like stakes because you always know he's like gonna be okay because he always is like always the best, and like in his school and stuff he's like, it's meant to be a story of like him being the underdog and like coming up, but he's just, I don't know, he just never can do any wrong basically, which I don't really like. So yeah, don't like him, so I would get rid of him. Make Ori the main character. I like her. Yeah. Okay, so the next is powder. So I have the Benefit powder. I also don't wear a lot of powder. It's just me listing all the makeup I don't usually wear. Usually for my face I just do like the skin tint and then that's it basically, but I'll put a bit on just for consistency. So the question for that is your favourite last book in a series. So for that one, I'm going to choose Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas. I think that's my favourite book, I think, in the Throne of Glass series. Yeah, Throne of Glass. Yeah, I just like how kind of epic it is and how everything all comes together quite nicely. And yeah, I like books with like lots of POVs and lots of characters and lots of storylines, and I think Kingdom of Ash just does that so well. And yeah, just kind of, I sort of grew up, well, not grew up, but my like teenage years from when I was about 15, those kind of books coming out each year. So yeah, it was nice to just have that like conclusion. So yeah, that's probably my favourite last book in a series at the moment. Although there are some like series that are kind of, there's like 2 books or so coming out, and I have a feeling like some of those could be my favourites. Well, I mean, there's Stormlight Archive, but I mean that's like 30 years away from finishing. Or actually Jade City and Jade War, the last book in that, I have a feeling is going to be very good. Don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so they're probably the ones at the moment. Or maybe the last book in the last hours, so Chain of Gold, the last book in that series. I think that could be very good and very heartbreaking if Clockwork Princess is anything to go by. So I'm rambling, I'll carry on with my makeup. So the next one is eyebrows. So I have the Benefit Give Me Brow. I have a lot of Benefit stuff. Yeah, oh god, this is gonna be hard. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? Not really. Yeah, I'm about to have my eyebrows. So the question for that one is, pick a book you think everyone should read. I'm trying to do that. Okay, so brows require some concentration, so it looks a bit silly at the moment. But the book that I would pick for that one is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. So yeah, this one's just so kind of heartwarming, and you just feel like your faith in humanity is restored. And it is a very like character focused book, and I'm gonna do my other eyebrow because this just looks so silly. Yeah, it is a very character-focused book, and I think that maybe is not for everyone. But I just think there's so many great messages about kind of like how you interact with other people and how we should be treating everyone, and kind of how humans would respond as well to mess that up. How humans would respond to kind of aliens. Yeah. So yeah, I just think it's a great book, and the writing's lovely as well. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. We'll see. Okay, and then I normally just set my brows with the it's a Benefit 24-hour brow setter. I don't know, I just like this. I think it makes them a bit like fluffier. I'm gonna look down. Yeah. I honestly have no clue what I'm doing with my brows half the time. They kind of look huge. Okay, there we go. There's some good action going on there. Okay, there we go. Now I look really silly. We'll fix that later. Okay, so the next question is eyeshadow, and that is pick a book that has your favourite colours on the cover. So my favourite colours are purple, gold and green. So I couldn't find one with all of them, but the Irish Shower and the End of Time has purple and gold. So I like that, those colours. And yeah, I don't have a lot of green books actually. I have Orion Lost down here. That's got green on. So I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So I have the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick. So this is also purple. So these ones are good. You can just kind of like put them on. That didn't make sense. You can just kind of poke myself. Yeah, you just kind of roll it on your eye and it makes quite a nice look. It's like a one and done thing. Although I am going to do other colours, but yeah. It's quite creamy as well. I like that. I'm definitely not a beauty person. I'm like a beauty YouTuber or whatever, but we can try. I really love pretty covers. They're kind of what would make me like buy a book if it's got a pretty cover. Okay, so then I have the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and then I'm just going to use the colour Booty Call just for the inner corners. There. And then under my brows. My brows which have now taken over my face. Okay, and then I'm also gonna get my other naked. These are like the only eyeshadows I own. I'm gonna get the other naked palette and the colour Hustle, and I'm just gonna use that to like do a bit in the crease to make it a bit darker. Okay, that's gone quite dark, but anyway. Because I always like do my makeup in the same position. It feels really wrong to be doing it like here. So I don't know how well things are going. Okay, that looks okay, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, so the next is eyeliner. So I have this Stila like liquid liner. You probably can't see any of these. So the prompt for that one is pick a dark and mysterious book. So I would choose Ninth House for that one. I'll show it there. This one looks huge. So yeah, so Ninth House is a really great book from like well, I really enjoyed it. I know it has quite a few like mixed reviews, but it's quite dark academia-y. It's set at Yale. I'm concentrating. Yeah, it's set at Yale, and we're following Alex, who is I don't know if she's a scholarship student or anyway, she gets recruited to this like Ninth House, which is there to kind of police all the secret societies. And then she's trying to solve a mystery while she's there. So that's the kind of plot. And yeah, there are ghosts involved, which I love. Okay, so I just did the other eye because it was really hard to concentrate and talk at the same time. So what's next? For mascara, it's pick a long book. So for that one, I'm going to choose Oathbringer, which is my favourite book of all time. So this one doesn't look that long because it's only part 2. But yeah, it's a 2-part book and it's about 1,300 pages. So I'm just going to curl my eyelashes. I like long books. They always take me a longer time to get through. Like it would probably take me longer to read an 800-page book than it would take me to read like 2 400-page books. I know that doesn't really make sense, but oh yeah, and then mascara, I have their Real from Benefit. I don't know why it's brown. I don't know why that is the case, but it is. But I do generally prefer longer. Ooh. I've got it on my hands. I do generally prefer longer books. I don't know, I just feel like you get more of a chance to expand the world, and this is not going well, and get to know the characters, and especially in a fantasy setting, like I like it when there's lots of characters. So if like the longer the book is, the more characters you get to have, I guess. I feel like that might annoy some people, but yeah, I love Oathbringer, and although it does get a little bit slow at points, I like how it feels like multiple books in one, because you have the kind of like that whole Shadesmar section. It's like almost a separate book, which is cool. Yeah, that's one thing I do like in the Stormlight Archive. All the books are split to like 5 parts, so it almost feels like instead of one big long book, you're reading like 5 mini books. So that's good. Okay, so that's done. That was also quite challenging to do while talking. I'm glad I didn't sneeze though. Yeah, so then the next prompt is blush. So I have the NARS Orgasm. It's quite a pretty colour actually though. I've had this one since I was like about year 10, which I don't know, it's like 14, and I was doing a cheerleading competition. That was like the only time I bought blush. Yeah, this is the only one I've ever owned, because I don't normally wear blush because like my cheeks are quite red anyway. So, but for the sake of the video, I'm doing it. So this prompt is pick a book that had cringeworthy romance. Don't know what I'm doing. Oh, Scythe is behind me. I thought that was a completely unnecessary romance in that book. It didn't really need to be there. Okay, so I'll put some blush on. You can't really tell, to be honest, but anyway, making my cheeks a little bit shimmery. I mean, I really like the plot of Scythe, but the romance really didn't really need to be there. Like, they could have just been friends. That would have been just as good. And some like older YA, I feel like there's some good cringe-worthy romances in there. And I kind of want to do a video where I like reread some of the books that I used to like when I was like 13 and just see what absolute trash I used to like. But well, no, I don't. They're probably not trash, but yeah, they'll probably just be funny. So yeah. So then the next question is highlighter. So I don't have any highlighter, but I do have bronzer, so I'll put that on. That's the same thing, basically. I don't know. And that is pick a book that brightens your day. So for that, I'm going to choose Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So this is just like a sunshiny book. It's like the ultimate Hufflepuff book. Let's put it on. I don't really wear bronzer that much either, but I do own this one. Maybe more for the winter. I don't know. Yeah, I just love the 4 March sisters so much, and just their kind of interactions with each other is just so lovely to read about. And yeah, it's just the kind of book that just really kind of cheers you up and makes you feel all like warm fuzzies. So yeah, that's probably what I would pick for that one. This is a complete disaster of a video. Okay, so then we're on to the final prompt, and that is lipstick, and that is pick your favorite book kiss. So I was trying to think of a book for this, well, a kiss for this. So the lipstick I have is a Chanel one, very fancy. My grandma gave it to me because I don't think she liked the shade, but it's Portofino, if anyone's interested. But this is one of my favorite colours actually. It's like a kind of, it looks really dark, but it's not actually that dark when you put it on. It's kind of more, I don't know, like wine red, I guess. So yeah, so I was thinking about it, and well, one of my favourite ones is the like Percy Beth kiss. I think there's a lot of hype at the moment for Percy Jackson, so I do love that one. And then also, I Hector and Elisa from The Girl of Fire and Thorns. In the second book, there's definitely, oh my cheeks look so weird, there's definitely a scene in that book when it's very like angsty, and you just want them to kiss so bad, and then when they do, it's like so satisfying. Also, this isn't a book, but I just finished, like, well, a week ago or so, watching the She-Ra season finale, and that Catra and Adora kiss, mwah, that was so good. Yeah, I love that. So they're probably my answers for that one. And then finally, this isn't a prompt, but I just have some lip gloss. So this is the Glossier one, and it's the like shimmery one. So put some of that on. I really like the Glossier lip glosses, actually. I don't know, they're quite like wet looking, but they're not like sticky at all, which is really good. And yeah, I just like the kind of shimmery look that they give you. So yeah. So nice shiny lips now. So yeah, so that is the tag. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry this video is a bit chaotic. But yeah, if you have any comments on any of the books I mentioned, then please do leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And yeah, me and my eyebrows, hope you're all having a great day, and I'll see you next time.